It's Good Friday across the world for Christians. And it leads me to a question, kind of a different sort of question about big government today. Now, if you've read my stuff or watched this channel, you know that I'm always railing against big government. But it's always from the practical perspective. You know, it's wasteful, it's cumbersome, it's corrupt. I mean, it's just so efficient as it gets bigger and bigger. Today, though, I'm going to look at it from a philosophical perspective. Take a big broad stroke at big government. Because you see, I'm worried that more and more Americans are beginning to trust government in a way that I just don't think is healthy. I mean, as far as future goes, Americans want big government to play a part, provide the safety net, and so much of what is important in life. For me, the reason I can't go that route is because my trust is not in big government, but a big God. And that's what Good Friday really represents. Let me give you a verse that I promise you probably will not hear on any or from any pulpit this Easter weekend. And it's from Luke chapter 12, verse 7. And Jesus is speaking to a group of people, and he says this: God has every hair on your head numbered. Yeah, now don't make a joke about my head, okay? It's not the point that I only have 3 hairs. It's the point that he knows that I only have 3 hairs on my head. He knows how many hairs are on your head. But most importantly, what Jesus is saying is that we are so valuable to God that he knows everything about us. And the negative side of that is that he knows our failures and shortcomings. He knows our sin, to use that biblical word. And you know what he does with all that information? He becomes a man, walks the earth, and then dies for every single one of us, for me and for you, so that we might have a path to everlasting life in him. Now, to me, that's awesome. That's why we call this Good Friday. Now, I realize that a lot of you really trust big government, but I got to ask you this question, and be honest. How would you feel if our federal government, our big government that's getting bigger by the minute, how would you feel if our government had every hair on our head numbered, had it in a database someplace? And not only that, but all of our failures, shortcomings, and things that we've ever done in our life. How would you feel about that? For me, I would be a little nervous. I wouldn't like it at all. You know why? Because forget about the extra taxes and regulation that would come with that information. We'd all be in prison. You see, one program of the millions of programs that big government has, there's not a single program that brings forgiveness. So, you'll be doomed. So this is Good Friday for Christians. And so I hope that you'll just look at this, and even if you're not a believer, give Jesus a chance this weekend. Study up a little bit, read up about him, all of us crazy followers, and see what you think. But honestly, to me, man, as a Christian who believes in a big God, this is Good Friday. But if you're believing in a big government, today is just good grief.